While thinking about how to introduce Carlos's book, I thought, what are the most important reasons why people should read it? So, I came up with two. The first is, of course, the ever-mounting disinformation, propaganda, and just plain lies that pervade the Western media when it comes to China. Anyone who wants to really understand what the People's Republic of China is all about could benefit a great deal from this little book. It provides exactly the sort of big picture orientation that one needs and that one should have before going more deeply into any aspect that one is interested in. The second reason has to do, of course, with the appalling state of the left, in which all sorts of really scurrilous accusations are thrown around. Accusations about China's imperialism and China's capitalism and whatnot. And I know Carlos is going to talk about this in greater detail, so I'll simply say that this explosion of accusations is arguably one of the biggest obstacles to creating a coherent left today. But I think most of what I want to say is actually why you should read books by Carlos in particular. That is to say, you may find other books on China, but why read Carlos? Well, going back to his previous equally brilliantly titled book, The End of the Beginning, which was about the Soviet Union. And of course, the title, by giving it that title, Carlos meant that really the end of the Soviet Union was not, as was celebrated in the capitalist media and commentariat, etc., the end of socialism, but just the end of the beginning of socialism. So it's about the first major socialist experiment in the world, the Soviet Union, its rise and demise. And in that book, Carlos provides an excellent overview of the main questions that anybody interested in the emancipation of humanity would have about the Soviet Union, the nature of its socialism, the scale of its achievements, and much else besides. So basically, the way I see it, Carlos has taken it upon himself, and I think done so with great aplomb, the task of understanding what socialism really looks like when it's at home, when it must arise in our world, not some otherworldly type of socialism. In a certain sense, in fact, to borrow an expression borrow the title of another brilliant book that emerges from the same neck of the political woods, Carlos Garrido's The Purity Fetish. Carlos Martinez's book provide us with a way of ridding oneself of this purity fetish, the inclination to think that no socialism is worth it unless it's some kind of shining fairy tale-like paradise. Carlos's books show us that since socialism must arise in this world, since it must arise in a world devastated already by capitalism and imperialism, it is bound to have to make some compromises. It is inevitable that some mistakes will be made in building it, and that it will continue to suffer from all sorts of class contradictions and struggles for quite a long time before something that we would all say is some kind of socialism is actually established. The origins of capitalism, by contrast, which lie in what Marx, to use Marx's words, in conquest, enslavement, robbery, murder, in short, force, and whose early histories was written again in Marx's words in Letters of Blood and Fire, these origins are frequently celebrated as some kind of a juvenile hijinks on the part of an otherwise, wonderful system in tales of robber baron capitalism. If this venal system is understood in these ways, then surely the origins of an attempt to build a just society, to rescue people and peoples from this venal system and its imperialism, attempts to build such a society that are almost always up against a great deal, the devastation of imperialism at home, the opposition of imperialism abroad, should get cut some political and moral slack. And Carlos's books help us to understand this and the emergence of really existing socialism in these ways. First in The End of the Beginning, and now in The East is Still Red.
I'm Michael Hudson. I'm appearing here for the International Manifesto group. If you like this video and ones like it, please subscribe. For more information, go to the address on the screen.